Does that work? They're good? Alright, hi everyone. Hope you're having a great quarantine season. I haven't posted a video for what feels like years because I've just been flat out too busy, and like every thing you work on, you look back at your old shit and you absolutely hate it. So I'm just gonna do a regular talking to a camera in my office full of mess. Yeah, camera's on the desk trying to focus on me, I think. I think the microphone's recording. Are you? Oh, hello, that's not on. So last night I watched the finale of Star Trek Picard, and as a bit of self-therapy, I need to talk about it because it's horrible. And I just realized I keep banging the desk, and which is making everything wobble. Yeah, so I was like up all night running the finale through my head and how nothing makes sense. I need an outlet to voice my opinion. I don't care if anyone watches this. This is for me to just get my gripes out. I'm not going to be talking about the entire season, just the season finale. The entire season has been shite, and I don't have the patience to go back over every freaking episode. I just got to talk about the finale because that was the culmination of all the bad writing and all the bad ideas. Now, I just want to say I don't hate Star Trek. I like Star Trek quite a bit. It's not my favorite sci-fi property, but you know, I've got a little Enterprise. I was going to say it makes sounds, but obviously the batteries are dead. Why does nothing ever work when I make a video? I'm actually going to go through the episode while I record this, just because I didn't take notes. This isn't scripted. So you can really tell when a production has too many fingers in the pot by the producer credits. And this one is a doozy.
Sheer fucking hubris.
Alright, so not quite as many as Star Trek Discovery, but still a lot. Magical MacGuffin that fixes the ship. I mean, there's a lot of crazy tech in Star Trek, and this is the most forward series we have. It still feels cheap. Like, oh, just imagine the ship is fixed, and it's fixed, whatever. You know, it's not like you crash landed. That's operated using the power of imagination, by the way, developed by a race of androids that have trouble with imagination.
What's happening?
Nothing that makes any sense.
Okay, cross-eyed, bad-toothed British Romulan guy. I don't know his name. I've never bothered to learn his name. I just want to point out that he runs across the desert. Presumably, this takes a while. Like, he escaped to the facility, went to the Borg cube, grabbed some grenades, and then hiked over to the ship, and is now extremely worn out and sweaty, and like, you know, he's been on a hike. Just keep that in mind for later. Turncoat doctor lady steals an eyeball. They really have a thing for stealing eyeballs in this show. Oh, and now for no apparent reason, they're having a little camp outside the ship just because they're telling a spooky story. The ship is fixed, the heat's on, like you've got some lights, but no, you're having a little campfire. Why? Because you can't tell a ghost story without a campfire. Okay, the Romulan warbirds do look pretty good. Alright, so they're hatching a plan to sneak some grenades into the synthetic colony to blow up the transmitter. Their ship is fixed. They have a fully working spacecraft with weapon systems and everything. Why can't they just take off and... Because soccer ball? A soccer ball that opens up like... Is a futurist soccer ball is built to open up and contain things? And I just want to say it's really tough for me to say soccer ball because I'm originally from England and it's a football. So Dr. Sung finds out that it's the other android chick that killed the other android lady. Instead of just stopping the transmitter from being built, he just has a little whimper, goes to meet the main crew to help them with their little plan, and then have his little speech and turn off the lady with the remote, which I actually kind of liked how simple that was, just turning them off. But why right away, why doesn't he just go, let's put this whole thing on pause? Meanwhile, back in the crashed ship, you know, while the main team has infiltrated the android camp again, pretty damn easily, the others have escaped even easier. Hiked across the desert. This is what I mean about keep in mind the other guy was pretty disheveled when he hiked all this way back to the ship. Picard and the Doctor get there like I mean, yeah, I understand that, you know, Picard's an 8-year-old man. They don't want to film him hiking through the desert, but still, they get there really quick. So Picard flies Rios' ship haphazardly into orbit to meet the Romulan fleet. Again, instead of just flying to the transmitter and blowing it up. Punching robots. I remember, didn't Worf punch Data once and it was just clunk, did nothing at all? Okay, then we have our little cutaway to 7 of 9 meeting the Romulan sister lady. Alright. This whole scene feels like it should be more important, but they've never met before. And now I know she killed Hugh, and I guess 7 of 9 knows about that because freaking Legolas told her that. But regardless of all that, I mean, 7 of 9's character, I just gotta say, I want to know what happened to 7 of 9 between Voyager and this show, because she turned into this very well-composed, super smart lady to this scruffy, hard-drinking space ranger. Anyway, being a scruffy, hard-drinking space ranger, you think that she would know not to hold a gun at a super martial arts master Romulan a foot away. Because we all know what's going to happen here. She's going to knock the gun away. They're going to have their little fisticuffs. What I didn't expect is this first scene to end as quickly as it did. Even though I'm kind of glad it did end as quickly as it did, because it's just a bad scene. 7 of 9 is super strong, right? She's half Borg, she's full of cybernetics. Because this Romulan lady is the Jacques Vache or whatever she is, I don't know. They all these names sound the same. They all start with a V. But theoretically speaking, she should kick 7 of 9's ass. So I'm guessing 7 of 9 is pretty damn durable, right? Space Orgads. All right, so now they use the magical dream weaving device to make a bunch of holograms that does nothing. Literally, like, the game is up in, what, 20 seconds? Maybe less? 17 seconds. 17 seconds before they're hit and the hologram is down. And then that was an important 17 seconds. 17 seconds is a long time compared to the Romulan commander lady who has plenty of opportunities to just shoot this frickin' colony out of existence, but never does. She prepares a lot, she targets, but never actually fires. I mean, the fate of the galaxy is in her hands. They're all pretty much the good guys of this show. And she never just gives the command to fire. Even when Starfleet shows up, she's just fire, just shoot. Even when the portal opens, she's still just slack-jawed and refuses to just shoot the frickin' transmitter. Just give the order!
Sterilize the entire planet. Target the abomination's nest. Ready planetary sterilization pattern number 5. Reposition disruptors. Engage them. Resume sterilization targeting pattern. On my command. Retarget weapons systems. Prepare to fight.
What are you preparing? You're always preparing. Just go.
Let's go.
Oh, and now we reach one of my favorite bits. The copy-pasted Starfleet ships show up. You know, I remember the days when Starfleet had a bunch of really cool designs for ships. They were all so different and diverse. I mean, they had their different classes and everything. What happened? I mean, I'm looking at the screenshot right now, and they're all exactly the same. How did every ship in the fleet show up at the same time, too? Was the fleet all together somewhere in the system beforehand? I think they might have mentioned it was, too, but you think that Starfleet would have all the ships spread out across the galaxy, and they wouldn't all arrive at the same time. I mean, I know the Romulans were together because they had a plan to save the frickin' galaxy right now. But Starfleet? How does Starfleet know where this planet is? I mean, wasn't the whole deal, like, to locate this planet was a hard thing to do? And then, I mean, the Romulans got intel from the googly-eyed guy, but Starfleet, I mean, I guess it was in with Picard's message? I don't know what Riker's doing here, but he does not sound like a Starfleet officer. I'm gonna kick your treacherous Telsiar ass. Very diplomatic. Again, another opportunity that the Romulans could just shoot the colony. Hang on, how did Picard steal Rios' ship? It was made clear that he had a bunch of security protocols to stop, what's the name? Darj. Not Darj, the sister. Soji? Man, I have just not retained any of these names. Anyway, they made a big deal about her, like, hacking the ship in less than a minute or something, and then he sings a song and gets control back, so he's obviously put steps in to stop unauthorized people from stealing the ship, and I just don't think Picard would be authorized to pilot that ship, so whatever, like, it's just another drop in the sea of bullshit in this show. Oh, Picard's having a brain aneurysm. It's a good thing there's a body waiting for him to put his mind in. Yeah, the show is not subtle with the foreshadowing. But yeah, as soon as they talked about mind transfer, we were like, oh, there's an out for Picard's medical thing. Man, Patrick Stewart really does have a thing for body swapping. I mean, it happened in X-Men 3, the post-credit scene, where he's like, you know, Phoenix blows him up and then he goes into the other body at the post-credit. Patrick body swapping Stewart. Space tentacles. Space tentacles. I mean, they're doubling down on ripping off Mass Effect. I mean, honestly, it's copy-paste Mass Effect. There must have been more interesting stories to tell. Right? Whatever, the plot is f***ed anyway. Okay, Soji smashes the control thing, turns off the portal. Now, I admit I'd like to have seen that portal close and cut off one of the tentacles of the whatever future tech species. And then season 2 could have been like the fight over this future tech. We've already seen cyber tentacles in friggin' Star Trek Discovery, but don't get me started on that. Why does it always have to be tentacles? Anything that we want to be alien always has to be tentacles. Be it cyber tentacles or just gooey tentacles. I think I would have liked it better if we never saw what this threat was. I think your imagination would have come up with something much better than giant robot squid. Why is it a portal? I'm pretty sure that all this time they've been calling it a transmitter or sending a beacon or a signal. They never once said it was a portal. You think you'd know what this transmitter thing would do before you built it? Okay, now we reach the part of the show that I really just it tipped me over the edge. So the beacon's destroyed, the Romulans just bugger off because they got no business there anymore. I mean, if I were the Romulans, I would still want to take care of this problem on the planet, that maybe they'll open another portal one day. Anyway, they turn around, go home. And then Starfleet just f***s off. When I got to this point in the episode and they just f*** off, I had my hand, I couldn't, I'm still, I can't put it into words. This is a first contact situation. A galactic threat has just been stopped for, they don't know how it was freaking stopped. I mean, they were just floating in space and Picard had a little talky talk and then it stopped. They can't leave one ship to go and investigate this new species of synthetic who almost doomed the galaxy. They just f*** off. They just leave. They leave. I have a little Vegeta in a pink shirt on my desk. Sometimes I just have to take a break and remind myself that Vegeta once wore a pink shirt. So anyway, I guess that counts as Picard's last goodbye to Riker before he abandoned shop. So I guess Soji has a live video feed of this whole situation because Picard has his little aneurysm and she goes, oh shit, maybe I should drop the defensive shields and stuff and beam you all down here. From the console she just smashed. Little consistency. That's all I'm asking. Soji smash! I mean, we know from example that she's super strong. I mean, she bust up the floor of that Borg cube real easy. Not to mention the dining room table on the ship. Hope she paid for that. Or is there no money in the future? Isn't that like platinum or something? Doesn't matter. So Picard's on the planet, he's having his little death scene, and I just like the way he looks over, he's like, Elnor, I forgot you were here. Because everyone forgets he's there. He's the pointless fucking character. What does he... They already wasted an episode to try and pick the guy up, and ever since they picked him up, Picard's telling him to off all the time. Let me touch your face. Oh, well, at least I hope Picard has some poignant last words.
You were quite right.
Well, I guess it's on the level of oh my from Captain Kirk. Okay, everyone pair up for an emotional little dialogue post-Picard death. Frickin' Elrond is pretty emotional after Picard died, even though he spent this entire adventure barely with him, and he's spent the last, what, like 17 years or something estranged from him. Whatever. These aren't Vulcans, these are Romulans. They can, I guess they're the opposite of the spectrum. All right, I'm gonna calm down now because now we're at the ending of the episode. Well, not quite the ending, but the most poignant part of the episode. Picard and Data. I'm not gonna say much about this because this is a video about me complaining, and I haven't got anything to complain about this moment. This is a beautiful moment between two characters. Like it really is the culmination of what mattered in the series, I suppose. We all just wanted to see these two talk more. I don't understand the insane connection that the show makes between Picard and Data. In The Next Generation, they never really had that connection. Data was always best friends with Geordi and kind of socialized with the rest of the crew much more than Picard. I mean, yeah, he respected Picard and kind of idolized him and tried to model himself after Picard a lot, but never felt the two of them were so invested in each other. Either way, beautiful send-off. No complaints on this part. Okay, maybe one complaint. Data's eyes. This is kind of like when they made The Hobbit and Legolas had the bright blue contacts in. What is it with contact technology that just is getting worse? I mean, there are some shots in here where his eyes are just freaky. It's like that scene in Roger Rabbit when the daggers are just coming out of Christopher Lloyd's eyes. That's what these contacts appear like at a certain angle, and it's spooky. Alright, so Picard's got a new body now. He's woken up, his mind has been transferred into a synthetic body with, as I quote, no augmentations, no superpowers, and completely mortal. Bunch of assholes! The guy's a legend, and they don't give him a younger body. If I woke up in the same exact body with the same frailties and not being able to run across the desert and having to do a cutaway instead, I would be pissed off. I would be like, you dicks! Like, you literally took this lovely brand new augmented body that's probably capable of like leaping 50 feet and shit. You purposely made it worse to be a 90-year-old man's body. Bunch of assholes. And Dr. Sung is making it out like, oh, I sacrificed my own, body from my brain for you, but it's not like you can't just make another one. I mean, you've cracked immortality. This is groundbreaking. This is world-changing. This is universe-changing. Humans can now be immortal. You can transfer consciousness into a synthetic body. I mean, does no one understand how monumental this is? Oh, the writing of the show is so bad. And you can bet that Dr. Sung was going to give himself superpowers, and he was going to have like a top-notch body. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Dr. Sung has that remote to like turn all the androids off. Do you think some days he's just like, I'm going to put everyone on pause and strut around naked for a while. I just need me time today. So Data's death, I'm not going to complain about it. I mean, it was lovely done. Blue skies playing. It was a really nice scene. It's fine. It's good. Like it's very tear-jerking, very emotional. The only thing I would add to it was maybe not just have Picard there. I would have put all the cast of TNG like around the entire couch for him. I mean, I know it would have been kind of an issue, but I'm sure you get some body doubles in and you tweak the faces. I think that would have made it complete. Otherwise, it's fine. It's good. It gives Data a nice close of his character, one that he was kind of robbed of in, what was it, Nemesis? They did it in a way where it doesn't take away from his sacrifice at the end of that movie, which is nice, but also, I don't know, I kind of liked that he had just such an abrupt ending. That ending is still intact. I mean, he was blown up. There's nothing left of him. And this is kind of just like his ghost laying to rest. So, okay, yeah. It's fine. It's good. Oh, so 7 of 9 and Raffi are a romantic thing now, I guess. Did they even have any dialogue throughout the series? Like, if they did, I must have blinked and missed it. But they're playing the little sticks game, though. That's cool. Rios and the Doctor, that's why does everyone have to pair up in this thing? I mean, why does anyone even like this Doctor at the moment? She's a traitor, she's a murderer. Little offhanded comment there about they've lifted the ban on synths, so I guess Starfleet did that again without actually visiting the planet and assessing the situation. Would anyone even know that Picard is a synth? I mean, it's not like Riker hung around long enough to see his best friend die. Seriously, like, no one knows who Soji is either. Like, the two of them, no one knows they're synthetic. I mean, it's like that. It doesn't even apply to them. It's because they were made without gold skin, like all the others were. What's the point of giving them gold skin and green eyes? I did half expect that when Picard was going to wake up, he was going to have golden eyes. He's been through enough. He doesn't need to wear contacts for the rest of this season. Or season 2. Why was Soji ever sent away to the Borg cube in the first place, and Daj? Why did she go to Earth? Why were they given normal skin color and like sent away? Why did any of this happen? What's the point of this show? I thought there was supposed to be a whole Borg thing going to go on, and Picard would hook up to the Borg cube and become Locutus and save the day. But that didn't happen. In fact, if they hadn't have taken part in the story at all, the galaxy would be saved by the Romulans. Like, the Romulans would have taken care of this and no one would have been the wiser. I'm not going to even get into the fact that the Romulan Empire is huge and the whole refugee thing doesn't make sense. Alex Kurtzman is just the worst guy to make a Star Trek series. It's just like, hey, I've got a random bunch of what I think are cool ideas. Let's throw them in there and, you write a story around it. Doesn't need to make sense. Anyway, we're at the end of the show. The music is swelling. Picard says, engage. And really, that's what we sat through this entire show to see. So season 1 is over. I hate it. I hate almost every part of it. Like there's a sprinkling of a couple of little good ideas and good scenes, but in the midst of a story that doesn't go anywhere, doesn't make sense, doesn't need to happen. Reeves' ship sucks. Like, the design of that ship sucks. Star Trek, I mean, look at this. Like, that's an iconic ship. I'm not a Star Trek nutter, but I can appreciate a good spaceship. Rios' ship is just a crinkled, it's a space accordion. That's all it is. It's like a crinkled piece of paper that goes whoosh, carries the characters from non-consequential plot point to plot point. Petty gripe, I know, but anyway, season 1 is over. They've flown off to season 2, I'm guessing? I hope not. I mean, what's Picard gonna do now? I mean, he's retired. He's got a crew of people. The rest of them don't have a job, so like, what are they gonna, where are they going? Doesn't matter. None of this matters.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, I've got my venting out. Have a great quarantine season. I'm just scared that I'm gonna come off as a complete asshole if I keep complaining about shit. And I really could. I really could. Anyway, thanks for watching this. If you did watch it, I don't know why I'd watch it. It's just me rambling about Star Trek because I got nothing else to do because we're in a pandemic. Bye.